So in this episode, we are going to go through how to be an admin. It's really important that when you are given your admin role that you know how to be able to actually admin. And it's very simple. It's not too difficult. Your main job will be to obviously ensure that accidents that happen. So if we have armor moments, which you'll become very used to as you admin in this game. So strange things happen and you need to be able to jump in and fix them quickly so that the gameplay can continue. So just so you know, we are going to be doing this video on a live server. So you can hear people talking. So people are on the radio talking. There's only a couple of guys on because it is at the middle of the day on a Friday. So the majority of the, again, community is at work. So let's log in. Again, you probably have auto admin. This is something we discussed in the last video. If you haven't seen it, make sure you go down the description and see if you can find it. Okay, I do not like auto admin because I am a community leader, not an admin. It's not my job to do this on the server. My job is to create content or to play with the community or lead them as a squad leader. Okay, so when you log in, the first thing you'll see is the admin panel. We talked about this. We don't need to know about this just yet. Okay. So here you'll see Game Master. If your Game Master when you're logged in is grayed out, press escape, go back in, it will appear. So we'll just open this up. So this is GM, Game Master, GM. Okay, you will find that up here, it will say Game Master. However, there's also a chance that you could be in this panel.
Does anyone need a medic?
In this panel, you can see your active players. Okay, we can... Again, hopefully you have access to both of these panels. Okay, I recommend going into admin to start with. It is a limited game master. So what we can do is we can teleport to that player. Okay, so if we need to, we won't do it because they're in the middle of a fight. Let's see if I can find them. I believe they'll be down here somewhere, so... What we can do is we can go and see what's happening in this place. So right now we are at the main operating base. So you can, if you want, I should show you this first in case you've never used GM. So to be able to navigate inside this panel, you use your, if you're on Xbox, use your sticks. Use your sticks to go this way and this way. And then the other stick to do this. On PC, if you hold down the right mouse button, you can turn the screen like this. To be able to go forward is W, to go backwards like this is S, to strafe this way is to use A, and this way is D. So A, WSD, to be able to move around. To be able to, I'm talking over the radio guys, I apologize if it's annoying, so let me just see if I can get a wait. We'll just wait for them to stop talking. There we go. Okay, and then Q to go up, Z to go down. At first, you're going to find yourself, that's really annoying. Okay, there you go. It shouldn't annoy us anymore. So again, guys, apologize. So W to go forward, A to go backwards, A, D, Q is up, Z is down. On Xbox and PlayStation is your sticks. So guys, just wanted a drink of my coffee. So from here, we can just go high. If you hold down shift, you can go super fast. I don't know what that is on Xbox. I could probably find out for you. However, most of the time you'll, yeah. Where are we? Yep. So we can zip through here. Okay, they are here somewhere. Start to hear them. Okay, when you're in admin, it can be very hard to find. They're at the lake. Here. I believe the guys are here somewhere. There's a helicopter. I can hear gunfire just here. Okay, and then in admin, there's one of them. It's running now. Okay, so this is admin panel, right? So admin panel, so what we can do is, this guy looks kind of safe. Who is that? Can I click on them? Nope. So what we can do is we can teleport to this person if we need to go to them. We can edit their properties. So here. Okay. However, this panel in general is not the best. Okay, so most of this stuff you can do inside Game Master. So if you can, just stay out of admin. If that's the only thing you have access to, it kind of sucks. But as soon as we change to Game Master, you can see that we can see our friendlies. We can see them immediately. Okay, and then here, okay, he's just hiding. So here, what we can do is if you click on them, we have all these different options. So we can neutralize them, we can lightning strike them, which is something I'll show you later. So when you have people who are generally being toxic and annoying, you can lightning strike them. I don't want to do it just yet. Yes, I can go do it to myself. Okay, so let me just quickly demonstrate that. Again, I'm going back like this, the hard way. It's kind of silly to be flying around like this. I feel like we're close to, yeah, there we go. I'll show you a much quicker way in a second, but for now, if I can just play as my character so that we don't end up ruining everything here, because it will destroy everything. We'll just go down the beach. Okay, so here, so if we go to Game Master, okay, so we can do a lot of this on myself. So here, okay, you can neutralize someone, which means that you'll instantly kill or destroy the selected thing. So if I do it, you can see that I died. Okay. And then, you know, rather than having to play as character, go through the respawn menu when you are an admin, you can just go create player. Okay, and we'll just be like a rifleman. There you go, there's me. Okay, then from here, what we can do is we can lightning strike. So to lightning strike, here, I'm just going to back up a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. So again, if you have toxic players and they're becoming a pain in the butt, you can lightning strike them. Ah, I'm not even dead. That's kind of handy. So I'm only knocked myself out. So then now that I'm injured, if you want to just stop that person from dying but don't want to resurrect them, you can stop them from bleeding, which means that I will continue to be unconscious, but I won't die. If I want to fully heal myself, okay, I can hit heal and I will wake up and I will be fully healed. So this is mainly the vanilla stuff. You can see some stuff down here that is not vanilla, but I'm trying to stick to the vanilla things. Okay, another thing is if I just want to get rid of, like, say this, okay, I can just delete it. Okay, and then it'll just get rid of that body if that's necessary. So again, to be able to do this, all I'm doing is I'm right-clicking with my mouse. If you just give me a second, let me just turn my audio up. Let me just see who is still here. Let's just go into admin so I can just see who is here. Let me just go back to Game Master. Okay, it looks like that this character doesn't have a radio, so let me just neutralize. Okay, let me just respawn very quickly. Deploy here. Okay. Hey guys, is anybody here Xbox player? Hey Holden, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Do you know... I guess Jadar was the Xbox person. I'm trying to work out what buttons the guys on controllers use in Game Master. Do you know what that is?
Give me a second, we'll find out for you.
Okay, I just want to know what button they have to press to be able to bring up, you know, the menu that lets you heal, lightning strike and all that. Okay, guys, while we're sort of here, let me just show you an even quicker way to be able to just find your way around, because going around like this can become very disorientating. So what to do is, if we press map inside the game master, so we're still inside the admin sort of, you know, the game master window, but if you hit map, it'll actually bring up a map of the you know, of the game. And what you can do is you can, as long as you know generally where your, so as long as you know generally where the squad is, so we know that the guys are here, what we can do is we can just right click here and move camera. So what we've done now is we've moved the camera and we know that the boys are here. Okay, now I was just talking to Holden, and poor Holden was just
Holden, you're alive? Yeah.
so what we're going to do is we're just going to heal him, because poor Holden was too busy probably trying to look at some stuff and got killed. Okay, so we're just going to pull back so it's not so loud. So now that we're here,
It's the Y button. You keep pressing the Y button and the radial menu will appear. And then it's the same as the drop down that happens fast with right click.
okay, Roger, so Y is equivalent to right click.
Enemy fire from southwest.
Okay, Roger that. Okay guys, so it's pretty loud here because we use some mods. So what we're going to do is we're just going to use this same idea. Let me just turn this back down. Audio. Voice chat. Okay, so to be able to... So right now, if I just get rid of map, you can see that I'm still hanging around the guys here, and it's loud as hell because we have some realism mods on the server. So just so we have a bit more peace and quiet while we go through this, I'm going to use the same technique that I did before. Rather than zipping around the map like this, trying to, you know, get around. Okay, we're just going to do this quickly because you're going to need to learn how to do this. Okay, so currently, Jesus, that's loud. Currently we're here, and so we want to go back to base where it's a bit quieter. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click here, move character. Move camera. So that's what we did. We just moved the camera and now we're back at base. And you can use this for anywhere you want to go. So let's say, for example, we wanted to go up to the airport. Okay, we can just click here. And again, guys, for Xbox and PlayStation, well, I don't know for PlayStation, but for Xbox, it's Y. So Y will bring up a radial menu and you'll be able to find these in your radial menu. So we want to go move camera. The camera will zip over to here, and when we get rid of that, we're at the airport. Okay, so now that we're at the airport, okay, let's start talking about just being able to drop down items, vehicles, things like that into the world. There we go. Into the world. Sorry, I'm falling over my words. So let's just start with the Jeep. So we click on a Jeep, we drop it in. So let me just show you that again. Okay, we have a small menu here that we can pick from. For mouse, it's just click with your left mouse button, which would be your trigger button, drop it in. Okay, and then it is there for the guys to use. Okay, if we look at what you can do on the vehicle, if you right click on a vehicle, again, if you press Y, you'll have a radial menu or a drop down menu for PC. Okay, and it has strange things like you can snap it to terrain in case it lands funny. So maybe it's like, you know, upside down or something like that. You can then snap it to terrain. You can also, if I want, I can teleport myself into this vehicle. So if you're an admin and there is a moving vehicle, if you're quick enough and you can snap, you can teleport yourself into the vehicle like that. Okay, that was terrible, but yeah, okay, it's not working very well anymore. So let me just put myself here. Let's have a look at this menu more. Okay, you can also choose passengers if you would like to put AI in there. This works very well when you're making enemy, which we'll discuss in a minute. If the vehicle is damaged, you can heal the vehicle. If the vehicle needs refueling, you can refuel the vehicle. This is helpful for when you're GMing for missions. If, let's say, this is an enemy vehicle and your guys do not have AT and they have no way to really destroy the vehicle, let's say if it's a BMP, what you can do is after they've wasted enough ammo, you can just simulate that it's getting destroyed. So you can set smoke. So, yep. You can also just go heal. And then if you want to really destroy it, you can set it on fire. Okay, and it will kill everything inside and it will eventually be destroyed. Okay, if you don't want it to be destroyed, you can immediately heal it and it will stop smoking. If, again, you're finding that somebody is running around in a vehicle, maybe they're running over people and they're causing too much problems, you can lightning strike it. Once a vehicle is damaged, like this, so this vehicle is destroyed, you cannot heal it. You cannot heal it anymore. Okay. You can see here, if you wanted to, you could put supplies inside, but we'll get to that in a minute. Once something like this is destroyed, delete it. Okay, so this vehicle... Let's go to edit properties. So if you wanted to make a vehicle for some reason not be able to be destroyed, you can turn off damage. So again, what I did is I went into the radial menu here. I went to edit properties, click, it'll come up with this. On the first one here, it has your fuel in case you wanted to just immediately give it fuel. Maybe you wanted to make it so that it couldn't be it can't be driven all over the map constantly. You can put this down. Again, like I was saying, you can edit the damage so that it can't be destroyed. This means that you can then create a vehicle, maybe that's run by you as an admin, and you're ferrying people back and forth to the front line. And because of the threat of just being like nuked by a RPG, if you're playing PvE, that is, of course on PvP you wouldn't be doing this, but if it's PvE and you're trying to ferry people out to the front line in a lab or something like that, you can then just turn off the damage so that you can get in and out as the admin doing the transporting without constantly getting destroyed. Okay, visibility. I actually don't know what that does. Maybe it makes it invisible. Yep, it makes it invisible. There you go. Okay, entities. So now in here, it just says whether you can put supplies on. Decaying supplies means that like when you have supplies in here, they slowly start to go down. Okay, and most of the time it's the default setting is no, because that's stupid, filling it up and then you have to go into attack, and when you come back it has like 50% supplies in it after you filled it up. So this is a great way to be able to assist your community in being able to like keep the momentum going. So if you were to have a transport truck and you're playing conflict PvE and there is no way for the guys to be able to go and find supply anymore because there's no more hidden supply. It's been deleted from conflict PvE. So, and you know, the only way for the guys now to be able to get supply is to go and fight in a supply depot. However, if you have two members on and all they want to do is go and build radio towers, what you can do is you can go to edit properties, go to entities, and then you can give them supply. And now you have a truck full of supplies. So let me show you again. Right click, edit properties, entity, percentage of supplies. So even if you only want to give them half. Okay, so now that we have teleported this person, which is me, but let's just imagine this is not me, okay? We've teleported this person here and we want to take them back to base. So to be able to do that in a vanilla sense, you need to grab the person and you can move them like this. Now, the only problem with the vanilla way is that if I take hold of myself here and I go down to a certain distance, at some point we're going to lose connection and they're going to end up, come on, disappear, losing track of them, which we don't seem to be doing right now. It looks like I can go the whole way with myself. That's kind of annoying. It looks like the mod has fixed this problem that we have on. So maybe I'm not going to be able to demonstrate this to you, but if you're using vanilla, yeah, it looks like, okay, it looks like it's not going to do it. Okay, so it looks like the mod has fixed this problem, but what would normally happen is once we went to a certain distance, we would lose connection with this person and we'd end up dropping them in the middle of a field somewhere. So it looks like the mod that I have on here has fixed that problem. So I'm not going to be able to demonstrate it, but you're going to experience it. Okay, guys, so it seems, damn, that's loud. So it seems like the mod that I have on my server is stopping me from demonstrating that you can lose connection with a person. So here we go. Okay, so if you have a group of people like this, you can hold down for PC, you hold down the left, the left mouse button, and you can drag and select all these people. And then I won't do it because they'll freak out, but you can just select one and then you can drag them wherever you want and you can just place them down. Okay. So you can select them like this and you can drag them to places. So if we come here, okay, in conflict, it's very important that you don't delete this. No problems. So here, it's very important that you don't tend to mess with the tents, the conflict tents. However, you can obviously if you need to add supplies. So now this has full supplies in this tent, and then this can be used to build things. So again, right click or Y for Xbox. You know, I think it's probably whatever your main button is to be able to do things. What is this? Is it X or circle? It'd be X, I guess. And then you can go to this tab, entity, and then you'll see supplies, percentage supplies for main tent. So if you look here, you can move a building by just selecting it and then just moving it. Place. And it will move it. So you can come here and you can edit properties. You can change the faction. Don't recommend that you do that. And you can also, I've done that already. You can delete it as well if you need to delete it. If it is stuck in the terrain, you can obviously snap it to terrain and it will adjust so that it sits better on the map. But fuck it. Okay, so nothing you can do if you're on keyboard is you can just hit the delete key. Otherwise, you can right click, delete, and then it's gone. Okay, however, that's not good. So what we really need to do is put it back, because I think we have now just completely taken off the guys. Let's have a look. Is there a connection? Yes, there's still a connection, so it's fine. So let's talk about spawning in enemy and stuff like that. So let's go over here. This looks like a good place to spawn. It's out of the way. Maybe we'll move down here a little bit. So there we go. This looks like a good place. So to be able to spawn an enemy on most game modes, it'll just be a matter of going to your, let's just open this. You can open this. You can go to Soviet or whatever your enemy is. So here, we're just going to use the Soviet, okay? I'll just get rid of that for a minute. And then you just select this one, your normal button. Let me just get a little bit lower, and then you drop them in. You can then, when they're selected, you can make them forced move. So this means that they will run to the place that you want them to run. So now they're going to run. Jog. I guess. There you go. So they will get to that area. Once they get to them, if they are fired upon, they will return fire. You can also set them to search and destroy. So what they'll do then is you can put that around where your team is or an objective, and then they will just slowly make their way in. Okay, so now they're going to be search and destroy. If you are using conflict PvE, so Gramps conflict PvE, if you notice, this enemy, okay, is bright red. So they have a bright red tag. So remember that, okay? That's a bright red tag. So let me just delete them. If we go where the guys are right now, so let's use the, oh wait, there was one right there. If you look here, okay, this person is more of a dull red. And that's not good, because if we take this in Gramps' conflict PvE only now, guys, we put them down, okay? Okay, you will see that even though they are both Russian, they are competing factions. Now, I don't know why this has happened, why this is a problem, okay? Let me just back out a little bit so it's not so loud. To be able to fix this, you need to bring up the radial menu on your bright red team. You need to go down to edit properties and you need to change the faction to the other one. Press escape to save. And now they will stop fighting. Okay? So that's really important to understand, that when you are playing Gramps' conflict PvE, or if you are spawning in a faction and they don't look the same like this, you need to go in, edit properties, and you need to change. Okay, we can also just change them into that too, so which makes them civilian, which is not good. So let's just put that there. You can change the combat mode as well, so they'll only fire. You can change their formation and stuff like that. Okay, I'll let you discover that. But we'll just leave that there. We'll leave that there. We'll let the boys fight them later. So let's talk about dealing with crashes and things like that. So let's just go right back. There's Montanak. Let's go right back up to here. That's Lamentin. Which way am I facing? North. Let's go up here. I'm looking for the airfield. There it is. Okay, so up here we placed this vehicle. Okay, so let's just teleport me there. Okay, so I'm now going, just give me a sec guys, I'm now just going to try and get this vehicle stuck somewhere. Maybe I'm going to try and flip it. Okay, if somebody in your server flips a vehicle, again, it's really simple to be able to sort of like unfuck this situation, guys. You just got to grab it. The vehicle, even though it looks like it's on its side in the image, as soon as you let go, it will flip back to its original sort of positioning. Oh, now we're being shot at. Okay, from up there. So, that fixes how to be able to deal with sort of like the oopsies. This also, let's just teleport ourselves back up here. Teleport player. Oh, okay, that also brought the truck as well. So again, make sure you're out of the truck when you teleport. So now if we teleport, okay, we're not going to take the truck with us. It's also a great way to be able to teleport many people, is you place everybody in a truck and you teleport one person and the truck will come. Okay, so this also goes for choppers. If they break their blades, we go in. Okay, we obviously can't heal it because it's just going to break the chopper again. So you want to grab your chopper, move it into a safe location. You got to make sure that your driver is aware that it's they've been moved. Tell them to prepare because there's a good chance that this chopper is going to try and take off or do something because the rotors are still running. Yep. And then we just want to heal it. Okay, and then the person can continue. Again, if you're on any kind of hill or anything like that, there's a very good chance that this chopper is going to start drifting and it'll crash again. So just warn your player that you're about to heal it. If the blades are not running, there's no engine sound. See, you can see it's already trying to sort of lift away. On a steep slope or anything like that, there you go, you can see that the chopper is actually lifting. Okay, so we got to make sure that we warn. We got to warn the pilot that there's a chance that the chopper will crash once you heal it. Now that I've shown you generally how to drag things around and stuff like that, let's show you down here. So you can click on this then, and this is your faction sort of windows, and then what you can do is you can drop down a spawn point. You can sort of change objectives and stuff like this, and you can, if you need to, you can seize objectives, but a lot of the times you won't need these. I'll let you go through and stuff like that, okay? You can create like an objective and you can do these yourself. We don't tend to use them, so I'll let you figure these out. Okay, so this window, this one here down here is very important. So this is all your properties. So here you can turn off your global supply. So if people are battle babbying really, really hard and you want to just try and, you know, slow down the use of supply in case like all your logi guys are starting to lose their mind a bit, you can turn it off. This will last until server restart, and then when you come back, it'll be on again. You can turn off respawning, so you can stop people from respawning if you wanted to make a one life sort of, you know, session. This also is your supply cost multiplier. So when you're spawning, you can make it more expensive for when people are spawning. So spawn near radio towers. This is all explained down here, okay? Deployable radios, so if you don't want people to be able to deploy on radios, you can turn it off. Respawn budget type, so you know, you can put tickets. So if it costs money or whether it costs tickets. So kill feed type, you can, if you want to do a session where maybe your admins or a couple of people that you have selected can play like enemy party in conflict PvE, what you can do is, rather than seeing like a kill feed up here where it says a friendly fire incident, so blue on blue, just to stop your PvE community from complaining, you can turn off that feed now. Thanks to this mod. This mod will do that. I'll show you the mod in a second, but we're going to put it back here. So who receives it? So you can say everyone, or you can allies only, same faction, same group, enemies only. So we'll leave it on to everyone. So this is all about kill feed. Friendly fire feed. You can turn that off if you'd like. Your global arsenal mode. This allows you to make it so that you can only have your faction stuff or what is known as conflict. So, but you can also turn it off so then everybody can save and take whatever they want. Okay, some more like game mode stuff. So decommissioning, punishing team killing. You can turn that off. Okay, and then this is a mod. This is a mod here. So it enables game master budgets, so that, which means that like at a certain point, your admins can no longer spawn things in. All this stuff will become grayed out, and it just stops your server from just having too many entities on the map and causing FPS problems, basically. So performance issues. Team Balancer, this is mainly used for PvP. So PvP here, and it will stop people from trying to jank the system and all pile into one side. Here you can change the daytime, so time of day. So it's morning at the moment, so you can change whatever time of the day. You can change it so it's much more accurate. The date as well, so whether it should be cold, hot, raining, snowing, all this stuff. And then time progression, so what you can do is you can just freeze it for morning or nighttime, so your whole mission can be at night, even though the mission lasts for like 4 hours in real time. You can freeze it to nighttime. Time progression multiplier as well, so if you want things day and night cycle to go really, really quickly, you can up this multiplier. This is weather, so in case you want it to rain, it could be raining all the time. If you don't want it to be so sunny, so it's a much more atmospheric, you know, so this is great. If you want it, you can set the timer. You can set the time to like, you know, 6 p.m. in winter, make it cloudy, and this is a great sort of zombie type map. You can continuously leave it so that it's always zombie time, and you can run around, you know, in murky night game modes and fight zombies. Fuel consumption, you can see here we have it 8 times because we want our helicopter pilots to be actually doing maintenance on their helicopters, and one of those things is refueling, but you don't have to do that. Enable unconsciousness, which means that like when somebody is shot, they don't just die and return to spawn. It gives you a chance to run up and do medical. This is a great way to make sure that your medical players, your medics, are actually doing some work. The global bleed rate, if you have a lot of people on the server and you want people to die even though they've gone unconscious, you can drop that, you can bump that up so people bleed out quicker. Regeneration means that like once you're on your feet again, it tells you how long your injuries are lasting. So if you have broken legs, you can remain broken legs until somebody comes and heals your legs. Global skill, this is your AI. If it's not set, it's using the infusion workbench, which is normally set to normal. Okay, and then you can make them easy, you know, relatively easy. This is regular, so normal. Veterans, so they're starting to get harder. They're very hard, and then they're freaking Cylon, which is obviously robot. Finally, this one here is RHS. So if you have the RHS mod on, this will allow you then to change the parachute resupplies and things like that. So the most important one that you're going to need if you are PvPing will be your team balancer. If you have the Game Master budgets, enable Game Master budgets, this is important if you want to drop lots of sort of things onto the map so that people can drive tanks and things like that. This is a very important one because the game will stop you from doing that. The other one is the kill feed. If you are running PvE and you want to be able to play enemy party and just sort of make it a little bit more fun and difficult, you can turn that off so then people are not going to get butthurt, because one of the biggest complaints that people have as you start engaging in PvP, so basically like one admin is playing an enemy, people, when they see the feed, people complain. They say like, well, I've come here to PvE, why am I PvPing? Well, you can prevent that by turning off the kill feed, and then you can have 1 or 2 admins fighting a whole squad of players, and just to make it a little bit more fun, especially when people are piloting enemy helicopters and enemy tanks. So the main thing that you will be doing is repairing assets. You will be just getting assets off rocks from flipping. Let's just quickly go out, get out of here. So if you're, again, like I was saying in the last video, now that everybody has ability to put mods on their game, so they can play modded Arma Reforger on all 3 platforms, you should be modding the backend, the admin part of your server. And so that you can see exactly what we've been using, we'll just go Game Master. Let's just find the Game Master Enhance. Oh, okay, misspelled. There we go. So this one here, as you can see, it's got the eyeball. Go in. This is the this is the mod that allows me to do what I was doing. So you can also, like, for multiplayer, if you're on PC, you can save and load scenarios. You have like a context action to teleport players to their group leader. I don't think I showed you that, but you can right click on the person and you can teleport them to their squad leader, and it will teleport them anywhere on the map. It's the one I didn't show you. So this is the thing that enhances Game Master, and you should be using it. So again, if you're running vanilla, allow the game to be vanilla. But you yourself, you should be using mods to enhance your admin's ability to monitor the game. Okay, guys, great. Let's see you in the next video. So they should be appearing now. Click on them, and we'll continue to learn more about being a server owner.